Creature from the Black Lagoon was not the first time actors Richard Carlson and Nestor Pava appeared in the same film, nor would it be their last. Before Creature, they were in 1941's Hold That Ghost, 1942's Fly By Night, and 1951's A Millionaire for Christie. After 1954's Creature, they appeared in Four Guns to the Border later that year, and also appeared in an episode of Mackenzie's Raiders, in an episode directed by Richard Carlson himself. A year before Creature from the Black Lagoon, actor Richard Carlson appeared in another Jack Arnold-directed movie, It Came from Outer Space. Both films were originally in 3D. Creature from the Black Lagoon is the first of 3 Creature from the Black Lagoon films, the sequels being 1955's Revenge of the Creature and 1956's The Creature Walks Among Us. The first 2 films were in 3D. The final film in the series was not. The iconic film score of Creature from the Black Lagoon was recycled and used in many other productions over the years. Some of the strangest places you can hear that iconic Creature from the Black Lagoon stinger is the US release of King Kong vs. Godzilla in 1963, and 1968's They Saved Hitler's Brain. Creature from the Black Lagoon was produced by William Milland, who also produced other seminal science fiction films like It Came from Outer Space, The Mole People, Tarantula, This Island Earth, and The Deadly Mantis. However, he was also an actor, and as an actor, he's best known as reporter Jerry Thompson, the reporter investigating the meaning behind Charles Foster Kane's final word in the movie Citizen Kane. Julie Adams had been acting in Hollywood since the 40s, having started her career using her birth name Betty Adams. By the time she was in Creature from the Black Lagoon, she was going by Julia, eventually going by Julie a year later in 1955. Creature from the Black Lagoon was Julie Adams' first monster movie, having spent most of her career up until this film working in westerns. Julie, or Julia Adams, did not appear in either of the Creature follow-ups, but she did work with the stars of that film's first sequel, Revenge of the Creature, in other films. Before Creature from the Black Lagoon, she appeared in 1952's Bend of the River with Laurie Nelson. And after Creature, she starred alongside John Agar in the 1960 film Raimi. Julie Adams was not the only actress to play the character of Kay Lawrence in Creature from the Black Lagoon. Ginger Stanley doubled for Adams in Kay's iconic swimming scene, in which Kay is swimming above water while the GILL-MAN swims upside down beneath her. If the camera's above water, it's Adams. If it's underwater, it's Stanley. The GILL-MAN was played by 2 men in the film. Ben Chapman wore the creature suit above water, but the underwater scenes featured Rico Browning. Rico would go on to play the GILL-MAN in the film sequels, making him the only actor to appear in all 3 films. The only other actor to appear in more than one of the Creature films was Nestor Pava as Captain Lucas. Jack Arnold not only directed the first Creature from the Black Lagoon film, he also directed its sequel. The 3rd film in the franchise was directed by John Sherwood. Creature from the Black Lagoon was Jack Arnold's 3rd 3D movie. The aforementioned It Came from Outer Space was filmed in 3D, as was the movie he directed between this movie and Creature, a film noir drama called The Glass Web. Actor Richard Denning appeared in The Glass Web, making that movie the first time he worked with Jack Arnold. Richard Denning was married to Evelyn Ankers, who was a Universal contract player. She appeared in 2 Sherlock Holmes movies for Universal, 1 Inner Sanctum film, and several monster movies like Son of Dracula, The Invisible Man's Revenge, The Ghost of Frankenstein, and of course, The Wolfman. Before all of that, though, she was in 1941's Hold That Ghost with Richard Denning's co-star from Creature from the Black Lagoon, Richard Carlson. Creature from the Black Lagoon was Richard Denning's first monster movie, but it wasn't his last, as he'd later star in movies like The Black Scorpion, Creature with the Atom Brain, and Day the World Ended. For years, makeup artist Bud Westmore was credited as having designed the GILL-MAN suit, when in fact, it was designed by Millicent Patrick, an artist who worked for Westmore's makeup unit at Universal. The GILL-MAN made an appearance on television in an episode of The Munsters as Uncle Gilbert. In the episode Love Comes to Mockingbird Heights, Uncle Gilbert was played by Richard Hale, a character actor who actually spent the first part of his showbiz career as an opera singer. He started acting in film and television in the 40s and appeared in everything from Gunsmoke to Star Trek, from Petticoat Junction to Adam 12. The GILL-MAN's first television appearance was actually in 1954, just before the wide theatrical release of Creature from the Black Lagoon. Abbott and Costello hosted the Colgate Comedy Hour, and in a skit in which Costello gets spooked by other well-known Universal monsters, he bumps into the GILL-MAN. This was done to help promote the film to the nationwide television audience. There were not one, but two novelizations of Creature from the Black Lagoon. The first was published in the same year as the film's release and was written by Vargo Staton, a pseudonym used by author John Russell Fearn. Fearn was a British short story writer and novelist whose work appeared in the mid-30s to the mid-60s. The British publisher Scion released several of Fearn's Vargo Staton's science fiction novels in the 1950s and decided to use the popularity of the pseudonym to launch the Vargo Staton Science Fiction magazine, which ran from 1954 to 1956. The second Creature from the Black Lagoon novelization was published in 1977, this time by author and poet Walter Harris under the house pen name Carl Dreadstone, where he was also responsible for the novelization of Universal's Werewolf of London. Whit Bissell plays Dr. Edwin Thompson, who is attacked by the GILL-MAN and left with his face bandaged after the attack. A few years later, Bissell unwrapped actor Gary Conway's face in 1957's I Was a Teenage Frankenstein, where he played Professor Frankenstein.